Ryan Harvey, how you doing?
Hey, yo, what's up? Thanks for having me here. It's awesome. I really love what you're doing for the community, and you're giving a whole bunch of people a chance to speak their story, and that shit's important.
Heck yeah. Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate the appreciation.
Yeah, no worries, man.
I see you've been making moves out here.
Credit where credit's due, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the hard work and the hustle.
Hey, same to you. I see you've been making, tons of moves out here.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
I heard word around town has it that you making music, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd be making some beats every once in a while, but I also play in a band called Left Hand Path with Jaden Pruitt and a couple of others. We're a deathcore band live, but I produce sometimes hip-hop joints and a couple other things under Left Hand Path, and I think it'd be really fun just to have kind of this mass show of just all these different genres, and then we come out as a deathcore band and start whooping fools.
Man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
We're called Left Hand Path -OK. You can check us out on Spotify.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many artists in this town, or generally, have you worked with?
How many, in this town?
Yeah.
Probably about, I'd say 25 artists, just of different, and that's just kind of in hip-hop, and then metal, man. I've done everyone from, Hospice to Outline Color, Worked with tons of bands. Shortly after my time in Tulsa, I moved to New York to work under Will Putney at the Machine Shop, who's done Sworn In, Dired as Murder, Fit for an Autopsy, Terror, a whole bunch of others, The Acacia Strain. So I worked for him for a little, and then I moved to New York and just kind of started working with artists out there and growing it up, and then came back to here to bring that hustle and that drive.
Dope. So I'm curious, this is a pretty deep question, but what's your philosophy on life? My
philosophy on life is I have a couple, and it's funny, they're kind of shit that I learned from mixing, and it's just that you don't get, sometimes the best thing you can do is just let go. All you have, the only thing you can control in life is how you react, and everything other than that is out of your control. So the more control that you try to have over situations that you literally don't have control with, the more turmoil and suffering you will have. Another one I like to live by is that the human life, just existing, no bills or anything, just if you were just existing, the pure state of being human is suffering. So don't suffer in vain. Make every choice that you have matter. And also, you have 40 minutes in a day. Make that shit count. You have the same amount of time that everyone else does, but sometimes people's time get taken away from them.
Yeah, and it all depends on what you decide to do with the time.
Yeah, exactly,
So, honestly, I've asked that question a few times, and there's never been something that I've disagreed with when somebody said it.
Yeah.
And I feel like artists or engineers or even dancers or even athletes, we all have, I feel like we all are on some sort of the same wavelength when it comes to
Absolutely.
What we believe and what we do, because we have a motive to what we can do. And I feel like, sometimes we can have a selfish or a selfless aspect to what we do, but I feel like once we find that perfect balance to help us and help other people at the same time, I feel like it is a great thing, and that philosophy is great. So how do you feel the way to be successful is, how can you be successful?
Well, so successful is just in perception, right? So, for me, I don't have a whole bunch of Grammys and stuff like that, but, I still get messages from some of the artists that I worked on where we did records, and they'll be like, hey, someone came up to me at a show and said this record kept them from taking their life. And for me, that's success. You know what I mean? I don't care about the money. I don't care about the recognition or anything like that. If I can give back to the people that made me get in this genre and made me do what I do, that's success for me. So it's just, what I think makes someone successful, or what it takes to be successful, is, a really cool saying that I love is, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I'm willing to go out on a risk and say, Tulsa kind of has a problem with that. We have so much talent, but this place is kind of known for a lack of ambition. But that's really been changing in the past few years, and that's literally why I stayed here, because I bounced back from Tulsa to New York pretty often, and then COVID hit and all this stuff, and I was like, you know what, I could do Tulsa. There's the atmosphere and the environment and people's mindsets here have really changed. Mm-hmm. And it's good. All those people that were just kind of holding everything back fucked off to like Colorado or something like that, and allowed, made more room for the people that actually have something to do here. And I really love that. And it's been really cool too, because like with COVID, you have a lot of like low-key heavy hitters coming back that are like deep in the cut. Like for instance, you have Bryce and Garrett that just moved back, and like they've done music videos for like some of the biggest artists in the world, like Freddie Gibbs and all this shit, and so much other things that are like way bigger. Like they did stuff for like Deftones, they did stuff for like Megadeth, just like shooting out music videos out in LA. And now they're both back here just chilling. Yeah. And Garrett's working on a company, and Bryce is still out here shooting tons of stuff. So I think it's really cool that like a lot of the people that I grew up with here who went out, became successful, came back, and like we're just kind of like working on reinventing the ambition of the town, like taking everything that we learned from coastal cities and bringing it back here.
So do you feel like COVID has affected music positively in a certain aspect?
Positively and negatively, for sure. Like everyone that works in live sound and touring and all that is like having a really hard time right now. Studio people, we kind of came up because now more than ever you have and you have more people are going out and buying recording gear and like learning on them for themselves, and kind of learning that it's really fucking hard to do, so they hit us back up, So but it's cool, but it's also like I love seeing all these people start to take initiative in their art and everything like that, and like it doesn't have to be like the best thing or ever, but if you're putting in the work and like something like that, someone will recognize you and like work with you and help grow it,
Definitely. So
it's been negative and positive, it's hard to.
Who's your favorite artist in the town?
In the town? Ooh, so it's either between Ayala, she's fire. Yeah. Like, god damn, she's so good. I love writing with her, because I'll just literally just play one note or one chord on the guitar and she comes up with a hook. Like, wow. That's insane. And then also Vampire Youth. Yeah. Fresh as hell. I saw him at a show sometime during lockdown, and there was like 10 people there, and this fool made me feel like I was like Rolling Loud. And just like the energy that he brings on stage.
Both of them have that just a phenomenal
They're just good,
energy.
And I just gravitated to them instantly when I got here.
And I feel like talent is really determined by energy. In a certain
for sure.
Aspect.
Yeah.
But there's also people that have bad energy that can be talented, but them,
for sure,
they have like great energy. Like I can tell they're great people as well as being great artists, and I feel like a lot of times those things go hand in hand. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, I mean, you gravitate towards it, to things that attract you and stuff like that, Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like those are two people I know that are putting out so much work. Ayala is putting more work than anyone in this town. Like, not to discredit everything that everyone's doing in the world and world culture, because like they're fucking fire, or world music. I forgot. I mess up names sometimes, but like the hustle that she's putting in, touring and all this stuff, doing all the booking, and then running companies and helping other artists grow. Like that's that shit that we need in this town.
They are extremely successful already.
Yeah, she's fucking fire, and the whole team's fire. Like Jimmy Joe, they're like everyone is fucking great out here, and like. But I mean, after that, probably Tones, man. I love Tones. I love everything that Tones does, man. That dude's fire.
Yeah, he does art too, right?
So, I mean, just everything. The dude is just talented. He's smart. He's fucking resourceful. Just got it all, man.
Heck yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. So, like, do you believe in the resurgence of hip-hop within Tulsa? Do you think that is like...
dude.
Like, it's a new renaissance almost, It's like, it's just people popping out the woodwork. And I don't know if it's just Tulsa or if it's global.
No, it's literally just Tulsa right now. And, like, I've heard from, like, higher-ups in like, the music industry and shit like that. There is mad eyes on this town right now.
It's
mad eyes.
Awakening. It's an awakening is happening right in front of everybody's eyes.
No, it's insane. Like, I tell everyone from New York, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but the hip-hop is really actually growing in Tulsa right now. They're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just send them a Rolling Stone article. And then I'm like, what do I know? Yeah.
Exactly. like Steph has been featured.
Yeah, dude, Steph. Like, Steph's so fucking fire, too.
Yeah,
and, like, I had Medicine and Jack come over and mix some of Fire Little Africa at my spot.
Really?
Yeah, and so I got to hear some of those, and woo, that's a record.
Yeah. And isn't Medicine, wasn't he over at Swing?
Yeah, Medicine was at Swing, and now he's out in Miami killing it. He's fire. Wow. Yeah, he's killing it out in Miami.
Definitely. So, You know what? Actually, I have I want to throw you like off the wall.
Yeah, let's go.
A random ass question. You believe in aliens?
A little bit, kinda.
Okay. Do you believe in the aliens that everybody envisions, or do you believe in the interdimensional aliens that are basically like angels or demons, or do you believe in that aliens are possibly created on Earth?
I have I kind of hot take on this, and it's that I kind of believe that we are actually the only things out there.
Yeah.
Because and it's a freak fucking accident, and now we have basically we're monkeys that are just insanely sentient because we ate mushrooms and grew our brains straight up. That's what happened.
So do you believe in God or anything?
No, not really.
Do you believe in universal energy or
there's
spirit,
I don't know about it's okay. So spiritualism's cool because I'm a very not spiritual person, but I look at spiritual. You can measure spiritualism as energy in a scientific way, right? There is proof that people have energies and that you can pull or you can give energy. And if you look at spiritualism just as the scientific measurement of energy transferred between two forms of matter, then I'm spiritual in that sense. But no, I don't believe there's a God. I believe that we're the only things here in this universe, and we're here by accident, and it's a very, very cruel accident.
Interesting. So, do you believe in? Do you think the New World Order is a real thing?
Probably. Yeah, for sure. But what are we gonna do?
Oh, exactly. I was just curious.
No. But no. I mean, it definitely is. But I don't understand that. What's the point of having power over everything?
Yeah, for real.
That almost makes you think you have power over nothing.
See, I feel like that is that. I feel like that is intimately connected with the duality of God and the devil in a certain sense.
Right.
Maybe
No. Facts.
To,
that's definitely facts.
Maybe that's just the way that people perceive it, but. But anyways, I'm gonna get off of that.
No, that's sick.
We'll talk.
We'll do another episode on that.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk more about that.
On metaphysics and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Me and somebody actually plan on starting up some sort of podcast.
Hell yeah.
Having guests on and talking about that. But anyways, so what I'm curious of is how long did it take you to get to the point where you're at right now?
I mean, I'm still getting there. So I got into this when I was 16. So we're coming up on 14 years now.
Wow.
Almost 30, yeah.
Wow.
So and it never stops. I keep on learning every day, and I love reaching out to kind of new people and stuff like that, and seeing what I can learn from them, because as you're revisiting the basics, sometimes there's stuff that I'll overlook. You know what I mean? So I'm never having an ego about shit where I'm oh, blah, 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 well, I don't want to hear what they have to say about what. You can learn anything from anyone, you know what I mean? It's just
definitely.
tons of stuff like that.
Definitely. Okay, so what would you have to say to people that want to do what you want to do, or the next generation of artists? What would you have to say to give them advice or help them?
Well, do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else. You can't, if you're going to sit there and just make art and base how you feel off of it from how your friends feel off of it, or the feedback you get, you're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, or you could be, but I mean, I think the biggest thing is do it for yourself and just believe in yourself, because no one's gonna believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. You know what I mean? If I'm for instance, I took Joey under my wing for internship because he didn't know shit about recording, he didn't know anything about that, but he wanted to learn, and just be consistent and be true to yourself. That's the best thing I can say about your art. And that doesn't mean stick to one genre and develop your sound. You're free to experiment and do whatever you want because you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just really remember, you got to sit back, and no matter how hard it gets, remember why you're doing this.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, that's a really good answer. So, what I'm curious about is where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Man,
that's a good question. Hopefully, hopefully running a big studio out in Tulsa, building one, or just traveling around America or the world and just engineering and just producing records. I'm starting to get a bit more into developing artists, taking them and just pitching them and all that stuff, and just getting them signed and all that stuff. That's been really the focus. So I think I have a couple of engineers who've been training out in New York. Joey's getting damn good, and hopefully I can pass the torch on and just kind of move over to the executive side.
I definitely resonate with that.
Yeah.
like create your own conglomerate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I've got like 4 people that work under me right now, spread out through America, that are just taking jobs, and then I mix them and stuff like that. So hopefully.
Hey, I'd be willing to learn some stuff.
Let's talk, man. Definitely. Like I always need hands. Like, and I'm always down to give people a chance.
Heck yeah. Well, you know what? I feel like we could honestly go on for another like 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
We're getting close to that point.
No worries.
So, is there anything else that you're thinking about that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to bring up something that I kind of just.
I'm sorry. One more thing.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll get to that. But first, do some shout outs real quick. If there's anybody you want to shout out, like say what's up to everybody, I want to give you the chance because
I appreciate that. Shout out to Ayla, shout out Vampire Youth, shout out Joey Organic, shout out Doc Freed, shout out First Verse, shout out that whole fucking scene that did everything for Tulsa. Shout out to Steph Simon, who's done more for Tulsa than fucking GT Barnum ever has in his whole entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, man, just like shout out to everyone that's just really doing it out here. Like shout out Sound Pony, shout out Darku for St. Vitus, Valkyrie, just like all the community that like allowed me to like do my thing. Shout out to Outline and Color, Michael Skaggs, like that dude is that is who I ask all my questions about the music industry. And we got some really good people here, and don't be afraid to like connect. Like, it's not old Tulsa anymore. No one's wrapped up in their bullshit. Everyone just wants to see everyone win now.
Yeah.
We're so tired of losing that everyone's like, no, I think it's time we all win.
Yeah. Exactly. We're all gonna come up together.
Yeah, exactly.
None of us will at all. You know what I'm saying?
But and also shout out Conroy.
Yeah.
Fool's hard.
Yeah,
I love him, man. He's so good. Just has great energy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's shout out to everyone that like doesn't give up, honestly.
For real.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone that doesn't start fucking Twitter beef.
For real. So also so now we're at the section that I like to call Freestyle Session. Yeah. And if you would like to rap or freestyle, you can. Or if you just have anything you want to rant about for 2 minutes, you can do that. And the 2 minutes is starting now.
All right, bet. I can't rap, but I can fix all of your bars. At everyone. Just kidding. But no, really just want to take this second to kind of like go over a thing that I learned recently, and it's kind of funny that it took me so long, but like ASCAP BMI only does performance royalties. You need Song Trust, you need Song Exchange. Cobalt handles your international royalties, so if your shit's getting played in Japan, which Japan loves buying a fuckload of media and then selling it, and no one ever sees the royalties off that because your distribution will do that, will sometimes play a move on you. So get those 4 companies, get signed up with them. It's about $400 in total getting signed up with all these companies, but then your music and you are fully protected. Also get an LLC. Can't stress that enough, because you can't pay yourself from your royalties without an LLC. And that's some truth bombs I'm gonna drop.
Definitely. Is there any more? I'm sure you got a little bit more.
I don't know.
You got one more minute.
Ooh, one more minute. No, I don't got it. I'll cut it.
Okay,
yeah.
well, you can sit there for 1 more minute. No, I'm playing.
I'm just kidding. I'm like, oh shit.
Hey, it's been a very good interview. I appreciate you coming through.
Also, shout out to you for doing this, man. I appreciate that.
Shout out to you for doing this.
Thanks,
it's a while this together. Without you, I couldn't do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
All y'all coming through, and this is number 10. We probably about like 3 hours of content.
Oh man, let's fucking go. I love that hustle.
We're successful. We're gonna do more. We want to do another interview in the future. We got you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I appreciate your time, and thanks for coming through.
Always.
Everybody, give it up for Ryan.
Thank y'all. Y'all give it up for yourselves too.
Yeah.
Hardworking team on the post pro.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
Sick.